School is brought to you by BASF and Pride Seeds.
Bernard Tobin here from realagriculture.com, joined by Aaron Stefanis, market agronomist for Pride Seeds. Sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Back again, and we're going to talk a little bit about corn fungicide.
Yes.
Now, July 9th, crop is going real well. We're probably, what, 10, 14 days away from, you know, thinking about fungicides and getting getting it on the crop. What do you tell growers about whether they should be using fungicide?
Well, the big thing is you know, if you've used it before. A lot of people that have tried the fungicide on corn, it's just a part of their management strategy, especially since we're seeing these plant health benefits. So it's kind of similar to what Peter Johnson says about wheat. Once you put that fertility to your wheat, you know, you have a good crop, it's a no-brainer to add a fungicide to it. Well, we're kind of seeing the same thing with corn, which makes sense because really corn is a grass. It's just a different bred grass. So we are seeing if you are putting high fertility levels to it, higher nitrogen levels, good P and K and all your micro levels, you are getting an actual bump in yield, assuming the crop's growing along well. It's not going to save it from something. It's protecting yield and actually making it better by filling out that tip.
So Aaron, a lot of people understand the value of fungicides. They're on board, see the yield bump.
Yep.
A lot of guys are on the fence.
Yes.
What do they need to do? How do they assess this crop this year to determine whether they should be jumping on board?
Perfect. Well, there's actually two ways you can do it. So one is if you do want to try to get for that plant health bump, if you have that fertility, do a strip trial. There's lots, work with your retailer, seed specialist. They'll be able to help you get a side-by-side, weigh it off, see if there's a benefit there. The other one, which will for sure be there, is assess your crop for diseases, because there will definitely be a payback on that. Last year we saw up to 50 bushels just by applying a fungicide when that northern corn leaf blight came in. So referring to Dave Hooker's work from Ridgetown College that he's been doing and that he presented a lot this winter, is that northern corn leaf blight that came in, it was definitely more severe in some areas and definitely hybrid specific, because some have a better defense to it than others. But still, that high severity of a disease problem will probably mean that this year we could have just as high or worse as all the stars align and we have the perfect breeding ground for that disease. So you really need to go out and look for northern corn leaf blight in your field before. And if it is looking like a year that we could have it, maybe just put it on as a preventative spray.
Right. So scouting is the key.
Yep.
Let's head into this field and have a look.
Sounds good to me. All right, so we've walked out in the cornfield. As you can see here, we're in a no-till environment, lots of residue. So there is a potential, even though there wasn't any northern corn leaf blight in this field last year, there is a potential there just being some in the residue. So this would definitely be a field you go out and look at. If you're looking at it based on a corn-on-corn high residue situation, you're going to probably see an infection on the lower leaves. So, because the way the disease works, if it's in your soil or living on the residue from the previous corn crop, as the rain, winds, and everything blow those that new pathogen up onto the leaves, it will infect the lower leaves and then start moving upward. Where if it's getting blown in, say blown in from the southern part of the province or across the border from the States, you'll probably check the top part of your leaves. So now, you know, we are, like I said, earlier than we would be scouting right now, but you know, in about a week or so, when we're 2 to 3 leaves away from tassel, you can start looking for disease. So what you normally look at, we don't have any here, but an example would be northern corn leaf blight. They say it's cigar shaped, so it's a brown lesion. You usually see it right along the leaf, and it looks like a cigar. That's the shape it takes. So that's a real. It's very evident. You can't miss it, and that's essentially northern corn leaf blight. The second thing you can do is talk to your seed representative and ask if the variety of corn you have is more susceptible to northern corn leaf blight or not. So the last point on corn is planting date. So if you're looking to assess if you're going to apply a fungicide or not in your corn, check your planting dates, because technically later planted corn has a higher susceptibility of disease pressure. The reason for that is we are maturing later than normal. So Other times, you know, we have tassel, we're into pollination, we're starting to go through the dough stage, and then the disease comes in. Now, because of the later season, maybe later planting, depending where you are, you have a higher potential of disease infection. So if you do have a later planted crop, also might want to think about using a fungicide.